Hi guys, sorry. Darn, if that end button is right next to the record button. I don't know, I hope I'm not losing it. I'm so distracted. Okay, guys. I've been working hard on memorizing a mantra and it's distracting me, so. All right, guys, let's come have a seat. Sit up tall. Who didn't make it back? I don't know. Lori's here, good. Okay, and okay. You know, it's very hard not to judge others when we don't realize we're doing it. And we tend to judge others and use, we tend to classify and judge other people. Like saying there's some name that's an Irish name, inferring that maybe we're not Irish. You know, it's a classification. And we have to always remember that other people are not failed versions of ourselves. And that we see others through our values and what's important to us. And if we can get that connection and see that everybody is who they are and allow them that theirness, who they are, that itness, that I-ness, who they are, then we won't have such difficulties in our lives. As a matter of fact, there was a study that was done that said that when societies use these value judgments and classifications such as good and bad, and that the bad has to go, it's more violence in that society. So we want to understand that when we're with others, when we interact, we have to understand that everyone's coming from their own place, that we see them through the glasses of our own values and experiences and our own classifications and judgments. So sit up nice and tall and maybe close your eyes. We have a little mantra that says, others are not a failed version of me. Others are not a failed version of me. And then just think that in your mind as you deepen your breath. Inhale through your nose and exhale also through your nose. I want you to notice if there's any tension in your upper back, if you can just let that go, allow the shoulder blades to melt down your back. Notice if you're sitting forward and see if you can just take the whole back of your head back, your shoulders back, so they sit in line with your pelvis. Sitting up tall, noticing when we judge other people, classify them based on a past experience or something that we heard, or of course, all of that stuff that we think we know for sure. And then slowly open your eyes and circle your arms all the way up. Now I want you to imagine you're grabbing a rope and pulling it down and grabbing that rope and pulling it down, but you're really using all that muscular energy. Inhale up and exhale, pulling it down, using your breath. Yeah. Yeah, so it's slow and mindful. That's how we're going to go through this whole practice. That's the only way. We won't say things to our kids like, oh yeah, I don't like that name, or that's whatever. Having an opinion, knowing that that's not theirs, especially when they just said they like something. Exhale, inhale, exhale. One more time on each side. Inhale and exhale. Inhale, oh yeah, and exhale. Take your hands behind your back, interlace your fingers, lift your heart, and exhale, start to dip forward from the top of the pelvis and get a nice stretch in your low back and in your shoulders. Soften your elbows and imagine you're trying to pull your hands apart. You'll get a nice little stretch in your upper back. Take a big breath here. Good. And then from the back of your head up. So the back of your head leads the way. You're going to come all the way up. Good. Inhale, circle your arms all the way up, crossing your right wrist over your left, flipping the palms, and then lift up tall. And then you're going to twist to your left, taking the left ribs with you. Inhale, back to center. Now the left ribs lead the way. Notice if your ears are in line with your shoulders. Now you can take your upper arm bones back depending on your shoulders. And if your shoulders say, I don't think so, then you don't do that. Take 2 more. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Good. Inhale. Last one. Exhale. Now stay twisted, releasing your hands, taking your left hand to your right knee. Twist all the way over, looking over your right shoulder. And then look over your left shoulder. And dip your chin down, getting a big stretch in the whole right side of your shoulder. Your belly is back. That's where we're going next. But just breathe into it. Good. And then inhale back to center, arms all the way up, crossing your left wrist over your right. Lift your palms, interlace your fingers, lift your heart. And twist to your left. And inhale back to center. And exhale. Good. And inhale. And exhale. And inhale. Take 2 more. Good. And exhale. Now stay here from the right waist over to the left. You're going to look over your left shoulder and get a nice little more twist there as you take your right hand across your left knee. And now look to your right and dip your chin down towards your shoulder, getting a stretch in the left shoulder, and take a breath here. Maybe 2, maybe 3, yeah. All right. And back to center. Now you're going to take your feet in front of you. We're going to start right into core work. I want you to take the top of your pelvis back. So there's a C shape in your low back. And you're just going to reach back, your torso back and forward. Now you can stay holding on to your shins if you like. That's always lovely. Or you can just reach your arms forward or take your hands behind you. And I don't want you to come all the way back up. I want you to keep the core muscles fired up. That's called muscular energy. You keep that fire in the core. Now, if you've got to take a break, that's okay. Or if you want to take your hands behind you, you don't need my permission, right? But you're going to exhale to lift and inhale and exhale until you feel a little fire there. Inhale, exhale, just a little movement. We'll get pretty deep in those muscles. Good. 8, 7, 6, 5. Now this is some rhythm. 4, 3, 2. Yeah, last one. And all the way up, just take a little break here. Take a big inhale. And then once again, you're going to tip the top of the pelvis back and you're going to twist right and left. So you can hold on to your knees if that feels better for you, or you can just reach side to side with your opposite arm, or you can take your palms together and twist and twist and twist. So you're getting right across those abdominal muscles. 8, 7. So we get into our core with almost every pose. I think every pose. Okay. 5. Slow. 4. Good. 3. 2. Last one. Oh, and yeah. And all the way on to your back. Oh yeah, you guys ready for that, I bet. Okay. Again, I want you to take the top of your pelvis back. Notice
There's a little flattening in your low back towards the earth, and that engages the core. Now, as you walk your shoulders back, I want you to lift your hips, but see if you can walk your shoulders together so that you lift your hips so much that your weight's on your shoulders, not on your head or your neck. And then you're gonna walk, I'm gonna walk my feet a little bit. Come onto your tiptoes at the right foot and lift and lower. Squeeze the glutes. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. See if you can look up towards the ceiling. Just listen to my words. I will explain. So you just close your eyes and keep your gaze in line with your chest. Exhale. Good. Exhale. Now you're going to take your right heel down and lift the left heel. And lift. Press into the ball of the left big toe and the heel of the right foot. You'll feel things start to warm up in the back of your left shin. Yeah. Good. Good. Now come onto the tiptoes of both your feet. Walk your shoulder blades together. You might even be able to walk your feet back towards your shoulders, and you're going to squeeze to lift and lower. Stay on your tiptoes. Squeeze the glutes. Big exhale, big inhale, big space to distance yourself from the thoughts. And notice if it's a value judgment, if it's any kind of a judgment, you know, there's no good and bad, there's no black and white. Our most famous characters in history are human, right? Just like all of us. Okay, 8, 7, 6, good, 5, 4, yeah, 3, press down the balls of the toes, 2, last 1, and lift, and then staying on your tiptoes, start to roll your spine back to the earth, staying on your tiptoes, and then release your heels to the earth. Now I'm going to roll to my right side, so make sure you note what side you're on. I'm going to do Dave the Beach pose with my knees bent, not quite at 90 degrees. Keeping my ankles glued together, I'm going to lift the top left thigh bone. Now you can keep your feet glued to the earth. That's really lovely. Or you can lift your feet up. That's also lovely. But if you lift your feet, you'll get a little bit more in the medius. Yeah. And you're moving with the breath. Exhale, squeeze it open. So you want to press the right thigh bone into the earth and lift the left. Have that muscular energy toward the center. Good. And lift. And lift. Good. And squeeze it. Can you smile? Can you exhale? Okay. 8. Yeah, you should be feeling stuff, but feel how wonderful it's going to feel when we're standing up. 5. Good. 4. 3. 2. Last 1. Now, option 1 is to take your right foot back to the earth. Let's just take a little break here. Option 2 is to keep the right ankle lifted, and you're going to extend your left leg long. And then you're going to take your left knee, bend it, and then inner spiral. So you're going to take your right knee and tap the left. So you're going to get into this outer left hip and then extend long. So the right foot can be up or down, okay? And tap. Inhale, extend. Exhale and tap. Oh yeah. Inhale, extend. So it looks like not so much, but it should feel like pretty a lot. I like that language. Inhale. Exhale. You know, you'd never know I was literate at all, right? Okay. Inhale. Inhale. Okay. I'm going to have to mute everybody, but I love to get a reaction. Exhale. Okay. 6. Let's fire it up. Good. 5.
Dip it. 4, 3. Good. 2. Last one. Oh, and release. Oh yeah. Come back onto your back and then just roll to your left side. I'm going to mute you guys. Bend your knees, not quite to 90 degrees. Yep. And then either decide if you're going to keep your ankles have to be glued together. But you can keep your feet down, your left foot down, or lift it. Okay, ready? And lift. Right. Lift the right. Exhale. Notice how when you move really slow, this is how we notice things, right? This is how we get deep into our bodies. This is how life becomes more evolved for us. Yeah. Good. Inhale, exhale. So you want you to exhale on the effort. Good. All right. 8, 7, 6, good. 5, 4, good. 3, I know, 2. Last one, open it up and release. You can even smack your hip just to get a nice little release. Now, again, you can keep your left ankle to the earth or lift the left ankle and extend your right leg long. And then you're going to bend your right knee and dip your right knee towards the left. You're inner spiraling the right inner thigh and then extend the right leg long. Inhale and exhale, dip. Inhale and exhale. Good. Inhale, exhale. Yeah, I got something else for you, something new today. So let's see how that goes. Okay. Inhale. And let's count. Ready? 8. Yeah. 7. 6. 5. 4. 3. Yeah. 2. Last one. Make it work. Make it work. Dip it, dip it, dip it. And release. And now make your way to table pose, hands and knees. Now with your hips and your belly engaged, make sure your hands are below your shoulders. And then you're just going to take big hip circles. Imagine your hips want to reach to all the numbers of a clock, all the way back, all the way out. Yeah, that should feel nice. Moving with the breath. Yeah. And then the other way. Coming to your intention for the practice. To remember, we don't have to judge others. It's a big job anyway. And it'll keep us from getting angry when we're having an expectation that's not met. Yeah. And come back to center. Softening your heart. I want you to extend your right leg back behind you, your left arm forward, and imagine my hand is on your belly and I'm lifting your belly up. And get a nice balance for your paraspinal muscles. You can even take your right leg out, your left arm out to the left, and come back to center if you want to play with it, and then come back to table. Extend your left leg back behind you, for your right arm up, getting nice and steady. Checking in with your breath. You can play with it by extending your right arm to the right, your left leg to the left, and come back to center. Your hips are way ready for that. And now we're going to breathe it. Inhale and exhale. back to center. Inhale, balance. And exhale, back to center. Inhale, balance. Good. Exhale. Inhale. Good. Exhale. One more, right and left. Use the core muscles, use the medius, use the maximus, all the muscles we cooked up. Now extend your right leg in front of you, nice and long, flexing your front right ankle. Taking the right outer hip back, getting a nice stretch in the hamstrings. We have to do this a lot. Take a nice inhale here. And exhale, step into your right foot and take your hips forward. Oh, good. Inhale back. Exhale forward. Good. Inhale back. Exhale forward. Let's just take a few more, getting our hips nice and juiced up. Inhale. Exhale. And inhale. And exhale. Last one. Make your way back to table. And we're going to come into down dog. But before we do that, I want your belly drawn back. I want you to lift your knees up off the earth and just take your hips back and just be there just for a couple breaths. Just feeling it in your quads, the front of your thigh muscles, right? Your thigh muscles, the front thighs. And then take your hips back and just be there. Maybe a little pulse with your hips back, hips back. Can you breathe calmly there? Because it's harder than it looks. Good. Then roll your sit bones up and lengthen your legs long and walk your dog. Just find a nice walk in this dog. Oh, yummy, yummy, good. And then lower your knees back to the earth. Extend your left leg in front of you, flexing your front left ankle, taking the left outer hip back. And then exhale, step into your left foot, taking the left shin forward. Oh, yeah. And then inhale back. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale, good. Deep into it. Exhale back. Inhale back. Let's take one more. The breath is really important. Inhale, and then exhale back. Then make your way back to table, into down dog, lifting your belly back and lengthening your legs long. And then I want you to walk your feet to your hands, or your hands to your feet, whatever feels right. But your hip flexors and your hips should feel pretty well ready. Now see if you can reach your arms back behind your ankles, getting a nice stretch in your body, in your low back. Good. Now press your feet down, the inner edges of your feet as much as the outer edges. Imagine you're pressing the earth away from you. The back of your head leads the way as you come all the way up. Extend your left arm all the way up, reach all the way to the right. Let's start getting into this flexion and back to center. Grab your right wrist, lift, exhale to your left. And inhale, open your heart to others, right? And release. Now I want you to come into a wide stance with your toes out. I guess a kind of a sumo, we call this a goddess, okay? But right now I want you to keep your legs long and just reach right, all the way over to the right, and then come back to center. And all the way to the left. And back to center. Inhale, really long, maybe even looking up into your arm and coming back to center. And the other way, looking up into your right arm and back to center. Let's just take two more on each side. Really dip it. So you're lengthening the sides of your body. You're engaging your core. One more on each side. Good. And last one on the right. All right. And all the way back to center. Now we're going to come into a little bit of a squat. I love a squat. Good. So see if you can stay low in that squat. And you're going to take your arms up and back and up and back. So we're staying kind of low here. Now, when your feet are, all four corners of your feet are pressed to the earth, when you lift up, I want you to imagine that when your arms come together, your feet are trying to slide together too, but they can't, they're stuck. So you should feel it up in your adductors. Inhale. Exhale, squeeze and your feet towards the midline. Inhale, lower. Exhale, squeeze to the midline. Inhale, lower. Good. 2 more times. You should feel it right into your bum. This is also for your shoulders. Okay, now you're going to take your hands to your head. And you're going to reach over something to the left, and maybe you can take your left elbow towards the left thigh and come back to center. You're going to straighten up. And then back to the right. And inhale back to center. Make sure you're not putting any pressure on your hand, on your head. Your fingertips simply maybe touch toward each other. And then they simply are just there, right? So that we can have our elbows available for our tapping. Right? Exhale. This is way into the obliques. Good. 6. 5. Good. 4. Yeah. Are you keeping your feet squeezing to the midline? I know. Try to remember, if you're really present, every time you come up, you'll feel that. Feel that. Good. Good. Last one. All the way up. Extend your arms up. And just take your hands behind your back. Lift your heart. Back to your hands behind your head and into that squat. Now you're going to dip to, I'm dipping to my left. And then I'm going to twist my torso. So my right shoulder is going to reach towards the earth, gazing down, come back sideways and come all the way back up. Let's try that again on the right now. Over to the right, twist it, straighten out, and back to center. And a little lower, dip, twist, open your heart, back to center. It's like we're going into a pose. We're looking at where we're at. We're opening it up again from a different point of view and coming back to center. We're just going to do 2 more on each side. Good. Are you breathing? All right, last one. Yeah, let's do it. Notice how you get your elbow a little closer to your thigh bone in the last ones. Yeah, your body says, yeah, I'm going to do that. And open up and back to center. Oh, yeah. And take your legs toward the midline. Take some hip circles. Take some big full breaths here. Oh, yeah. Good. Now, we're going to come right into Utkatasana. Shins forward, bum back. Circle your arms all the way up. Find your twist, whether it's low or upright, doesn't matter, right? Inhale back to center and all the way to your left. Right outer hip stays back. Inhale back to center. Exhale, fold forward. Oh, yeah. Inhale, look halfway up. Exhale, step back to plank with your knees up or down. Those of you know who these are. Run the belly back, soften your heart. And then you're going to lower all the way onto your belly. Now I want you to stack your palms under your forehead. Now, if you cannot have your feet with your toenails to the earth and your legs parallel, you can take your legs a little wider and spin your feet so that your soles aim in toward each other.
if that's better for your hip. Okay. You're going to take your pubic bone to the earth. So already your core is engaged and so is your glutes. Good. Now you're going to lift your chest and swing your elbows back behind you. Come back to center and dip. Inhale, back, exhale. Inhale, exhale. Inhale, so this way, I know your scapula is engaged in a healthy way, so that when we do up dog or cobra, they know to go down your back and hug together. We're just going to take 3 more. 3, 2, 1. Elbows back, shoulders down your back. Now take your hands beside your upper ribs. Make your way onto your cobra now, maybe even an up dog. Oh, and right into down dog. And walk your dog. Good, yay, that's it. All right. Inhale, lift your right leg up behind you. Exhale, step your right foot forward. You're going to come into that lunge. You can take your right hand to your right thigh bone and allow the pressing, the resistance to lift you up. Or you can circle your arms up however you choose to do it. Now you're going to bend your left knee and extend the left inner thigh long. And bend. Now you can take your elbows to cactus and take the upper arm bones back. That's equally as efficacious depending on your shoulders. You can take your arms behind you, or you can take your palms together. What feels right? So I want you to get the feeling of that left inner thigh. Good. Yeah, so now we're going down that left leg. Good. 4. Yeah. 3, 2. Last one. And right into warrior 2. So I'm just going to turn around. Warrior 2. Right into that space. Right toes out to the right. Right, left shoulder back. Make sure you're really stepping into it. Take your hands behind your back. Interlace your fingers, lift your heart. Exhale and dip. But keep your inner thigh muscles back, your inner thigh bones, roll them back as you slide your heart forward. Take a breath. Inhale to press your feet down all the way back up to warrior 2. Take your right forearm to your right thigh, lifting the right waist, and extend your left arm long. So your left arm long can be in any direction depending on your left shoulder, right? But the right waist is lifted. And then your hips reach back as you make your way into that triangle pose. And you're just going to lift and lower out of the triangle, like my hand is on your right waist, and your right waist is lifted into the left. So we woke up those muscles when we were doing the goddess, right? Good. So just find a few more pulses here. Let's get into your hips. Yeah, maybe smile. Good. Exhale your left hand back to the floor. Make your way to a plank. Yeah. Shoulder blades hug together. And then make your way into a cobra or an up dog, whatever feels right. And into down dog. Oh, yeah. It feels so good. Okay, inhale, lift your left leg up behind you. Exhale, step your left foot forward. You're preparing for first a lunge, and then you're going to come up into crescent warrior. And if you want to take your left hand to your left thigh to help you up, arms can be up, elbows can be bent, palms can be together. And you're going to bend and extend the back right knee. So getting right into that right inner thigh. But moving with the breath is so important. Exhale. Inhale. Good.
Yeah. 8, 7. Good. 6, 5. Yeah, 4, 3, 2. Last one. Yeah. Circle your arms up. Make your way right into warrior 2. Just pivot your feet. You don't have to move around. Yeah. Right shoulder back. Left thigh bone back. Exhale your hands behind your back. Inhale, lift your heart. Exhale and dip forward. Oh, yeah. Inhale all the way back up. Exhale your left forearm to your left thigh, extending long, stay low, extending however you want to extend, keeping the left waist lifted. Then take your bum back and right into that triangle. I'm going to lift and lower. Lift. Good. Find that little pulse, knowing that it's coming all from the core of your body. Yeah. And when you strengthen your core, you strengthen your low back, right? Good. Exhale, gaze down, take your hands to the earth, and make your way right into down dog. All right, so this is going to be really kind of weird, guys. Okay? So from down dog, we're going to start on the left side because of the way I'm facing you. You're going to bend your left knee, take your left knee to the earth, and come onto your left hip and bend your right knee and just kind of reach your right arm long. Yeah. It's very weird, I know, but this is good for your brain. Okay, guys got it? Now we're gonna go right from there back to down dog. So you're gonna take your right hand to the earth and reconstitute. Now we're gonna do the same on the right. So you're gonna pivot towards the right, lower your right hip, bend your right knee, stepping into your left foot and extend your left arm long. Okay, so we're going to do this a few times so you guys can really feel this, okay? Ready? Exhale, take your left hand to the earth and pivot your way back to down dog. Back to the left. Yeah. Yeah. Okay, back to dog. And over to the right. I know when your mind says you can't do it, that's the judgment. Let's let that judgment go. Give it a go. Left hand back to the floor, back to down dog. All right, now we're going to come back to our left side. Good. You're going to come onto your left forearm, and you're going to extend your right leg in front of you. Yeah. You're going to flex. Now I want you to point your toes. And then as you bend your knee, you're going to flex your ankle and take the right thigh bone back. And then you're going to point your foot at your ankle and come forward. And bend the right knee and take it back behind you. And inhale. So in this way, we get into our hip, we get into our glutes, but we also get into those quads in a very safe way. Yeah. Bend. Extend. Are you breathing? You can inhale, exhale. Good. It's like an unfolding. Extend. Back, bend your knee like you're kicking your bum and extend. Good. 6. Yeah. 5. Yeah. 4. 3, 2. Bend it, get into that right quad. Last one. So we want to do that one for sure. All the way up. And guess where we're going from here? You're going to step into your right foot. Step into your right hand. And we're going to come right back up into down dog. Remember how to do that? Yes, you can. Getting up off the earth is the greatest gift we can do as we get older, guys. Now you're going to pivot towards the right, bending your right knee, coming onto your right hip, all the way onto your right forearm, and then you're going to come into the Day at the Beach pose, we call this. But take your left hand in front of you, and now you're going to take your left leg forward with a nice pointy toe, and then back and forward and back. So I want you to notice that the hip flexors are like at 90-ish degrees, unless you have a hip problem and you can't go that far. So I want you to adjust your torso so that you can get that, okay? And back, flex, and point, and flex. Bend your knee, get into that right left quad, and breathe into it. Good. Good. We're just going to do 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, last one. Yeah. Oh yeah. Come back to center. Let's come into a table pose, and let's take one child pose before we resume our last series here, the last standing. Take a breath. Take 2. Yeah. And then back through table, set it up, belly back, and into down dog. Good. Make sure you're really set up. There's no rush here. Take a breath before we decide we're going to judge it. Notice if we just did. Yeah. Inhale, lift your right leg up behind you. It's really hard. Exhale, step your right foot forward, making your way to that lunge, and you can come up any way you wish. Now, you might be able to just press your feet down and come all the way up into that lunge. You're going to bend your left knee, come back through center, and now you're going to aim your torso forward and lift the left leg up, right? And then you're going to step it back and come into where we started with that little, for that little glute, the little adductor. And then palms back, stepping into your right foot and lift. Come back, inhale, exhale, inhale. Just going to take a few more here. Want to look at something that's not moving, so don't look at the screen if you can help it. Really set yourself up. Last one. Set it up, get a nice balance here. Let's stay in this balance. Let's stay here, let's stay here, let's stay here. Your belly's back. Everything's engaged. Take a breath. And then right into warrior 2. So, right, warrior 2 on the right. Good, so we've been here. Stay low. Now I want you to lift your palms up and press your palms down, getting lower in those hips. Inhale up and exhale, lower in those hips. 2 more times. Exhale. Make sure your feet are wide enough apart that your right knee does not go past your right ankle, past 90 degrees. Yeah. Last one. Take your right forearm to your right thigh, reaching over, however you choose. Make sure your right ribs are forward and lifted. We certainly got into those puppies today. Yeah. Take your bum back, make your way into your triangle pose. And now we're going to come into half moon. So if you use a block here or a chair or a wall, feel free to use that. You're going to soften your left knee, your left foot, bring your weight into the right, and then you find your way, whatever it looks like. Whatever it looks like. You might even bend your left knee and come into candy cane, sugar cane. Oh yeah, your quads are ready. Okay, Take your left hand to the floor, lift your left leg all the way up, and step back to down dog. Yeah. Good. Inhale, lift your left leg up behind you. Exhale, left foot forward into your standing crescent warrior. Keep having to turn so you can see me. Good. Now, you can take your hands wherever you like them to be. Remember where we're going. You're going to lower your back right knee and extend it, and then you're going to use it to take off into a balance. You have to look at something that's not moving, and then you're going to tap back. So your hands at your hips might be the best place, or palms out. That gives the shoulder blades a hug. And when your shoulder blades are hugged, it'll give you more stability. Yeah, it doesn't feel that way always. Try it. But do it with your breath. Good. I'm just going to take a few more, getting right into that left glute. Good. See how you can take off. Last one. And right into warrior two on the left. Oh yeah. And press the energy down and lift it up. Want you to stay lower and make sure your knee is at 90 degrees when you're into it. Now just find a little pulses deep in warrior two. Maybe you can take your right shoulder back. Yeah. Good. Left forearm to your left thigh, lifting the left waist. Stay low. And then take your bum back and lengthen both legs long into your triangle. So we've been here before, and you can stay right here. If you want to take your right hand to your hip or hold on to a piece of furniture or a wall, it's all good. And let's just see about our brains. Balancing. Good. And maybe you'll bend your right knee. This is really kind of fun. Your quads should be ready. You can open it up, maybe. Good. Lovely. And release. Step your right foot beside your left. Widen your stance into a yoga squat. Either your forearms are on your thighs, or you're into a deeper yoga squat, if that is what suits you. But I want you to hug your thigh muscles in, your thigh bones in, and reach your elbows wide. And find a breath here. Maybe even closing your eyes and coming back to your intention to allow everything to have its satness, its own truth. Yeah. And to understand that what we see is our truth. When we look at others, it's through our glasses, right? It's not clear. And then make your way to a seat. Oh yeah. Extend your legs nice and long in front of you. I'd like to roll my inner thighs to the earth and widen my bum. Now, with your sit bones grounded, imagine you're trying to slide them back, and you'll get deeper in the hip flexors and taller in the spine. Good. Now, I want you to take your arms up. Let's just get some length here. And you can take your arms in front of you with the shoulder blades down your back. Make sure there's none of this shrugging. And I want you to walk your hips forward, right, and then left, and then right, and then left, forward. Good. Now you're going to walk them back. Now, if you want to get fancy, you can move with the arms. You can bend an elbow forward. Let's just clear it all out. And back, 2. How about one more walk? Forward, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. And then back. 5, 6, 7, 8. Oh, now you should sit nice and tall. Draw your right hand towards your chest. Give yourself a little hug. And you're going to open up the right hip so that your right foot is stepping into your left inner thigh. Now, if your right knee is higher than your hip, please take something like a block or a ball or whatever you have around under your right knee. A blanket is great. Press the thigh bone into whatever is beneath. Inhale to circle your arms up, aiming your heart towards your left knee, and then start to dip forward, getting a nice stretch in your low back. Close your eyes, and maybe think of somebody that you might have a disagreement with. Maybe what you think is the most fundamental thing, and just see if we can understand that they see things the way they see it. They see it now. Good. Take another breath. Press both thigh bones down to come all the way up. Yeah. Now you're going to take your right hand under your right knee, lifting the right knee, and you're going to step your right foot over your left. And you're going to take your left leg and either slide it to the right, which is so awesome, just like that, and sitting up tall. If you want to go deeper, you can bend your bottom left knee, but you want your right knee aiming up to the ceiling, to the sky. Then you're going to hug your shin to sit up tall. Make sure you're sitting on both sit bones and you're not sitting on your left heel. You don't want to do that. Good. Sit up tall, inhale, and now you're going to twist to your right. And this should feel pretty easy, easier than it did at the beginning. Hug your right shin and twist. You can even massage your belly to the right, or you can take your left elbow outside your right thigh. Take a nice twist here, looking over your right shoulder. No messing around, guys. You get right into it. Good. And back to center. Now, while we're here, your right foot is on the left side of your body. And I'm going to invite you to walk your right foot out to the left so you can lay your right knee on top of your left. Now, if your bottom leg is straight, that is just fantastic. Notice what works for you. Good. Then I want you to take your right arm up over your head. I'm going to bend my knee again. Take your left hand to your right elbow just to coax it down. Lift your heart. Make sure your head is not dumped forward. I don't want any dumped heads. So if you have to dump your head forward in order to get here, release it so that you can have your ears in line with your shoulders, okay? Good girls, yeah. And now you're gonna just kind of dip forward and get a nice stretch just about everywhere. You can flex your ankles, you can widen your toes, but just find your breath as you close your eyes and embrace who you are in this moment. Unique, really unique, and sacred, each one of you. Take the back of your head back first, coming all the way up, and release. Oh yeah, let's shake that out. That was so good. Well, I hope you think so. Okay, bend your left knee, draw your left knee in towards your chest. I'd even like to get the gas out of my left ankle. Then step into your right inner thigh with your left foot. I like to take my right hip back. And you know what to do with your left knee if you need it. Support it. Pressing the thigh bones down. Inhale, circle your arms up so you feel the two energies, the thigh bones grounding, the spine lifting, you get all that length. Make sure your right knee and your right toes are aiming up, 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 because I don't want any kind of rotation there. And then you're going to aim your heart towards your right knee as you tip forward. Closing your eyes and just enjoying your breath, enjoying the stretch, enjoying the flavor, the taste of this moment. Yeah. Press your thigh bones down to come all the way up. Now you're going to lift your left knee up and step your left foot over your right thigh. You can keep your right leg straight and slide your right leg to the left. Option 1 is great. Or you can bend the bottom right knee. Hugging your shins, sitting up tall. I like to massage my belly over to the left and either hug my left shin, or you can take your right elbow outside and get a nice twist here. Oh, yeah. That's so good. I don't think we missed any muscles today, guys. And then back to center. Now your left foot is on the right side of your body. And you're going to walk your left foot over to the right so that you can stack your knees. Now you want to make sure you're sitting on both your sit bones and you're not sitting on your bottom right heel. Yeah. Okay. Extend your left arm up, bending your left elbow. Is your head forward? No way, right? You can take your right arm to your left elbow and coax lower, lifting your heart, drawing the belly back. I like to flex my ankles and just kind of soften from the top of the pelvis forward, getting a huge stretch in my left hip, my low back, and just close your eyes and breathe into it. Yeah, this is a very sacred pose. It's cow face. Good. Press your thigh bones down, coming all the way up and release. Oh, that was so good. Let's shake it out. Yeah. Kind of shake, shake, shake. Draw your knees back to your chest, rounding your back and come all the way onto the earth. Draw your knees to your chest. And I want you to take circles with your knees. This releases your low back. Just circle your knees away from each other, a big circle and a big full inhale and exhale. Good. Good. Now take your feet to the earth, your arms to T, slide your bum to the left. Now I want you to walk your feet as wide as your mat. Your feet are wide, 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 wide feet. Then you're going to drop your knees like windshield wipers to the right. Lift up your right foot and see if you can just lay it on top of the left thigh. Now, if you want to put a little resistance into your right foot, that's okay too. Close your eyes. See if you can breathe and notice the difference between edgy and painful. They're so close to each other. Yeah. Then come back up to center with your feet wide, real wide. Drop your knees to the left like a windshield wiper. Yeah. Lift your left foot. Take your left foot on top of your right thigh, and you can use a little resistance if you like to get a nice deep stretch in the right hip. So we did a lot of hip stuff today, guys. Good. And all the way back through center. Take your arms, palms up, lift your bum, releasing your hips. Inhale through your nose. Exhale through your mouth as you release your legs into Shavasana, giving yourself this loving time, just a few minutes, to release any tension in your body, to plant the seed deep within you, to notice when you have judgment or an opinion about things that you don't need to, and see if you can strive for a non-judgmental observation instead, and take rest. Start rolling your wrists and your ankles. Inhale, extend your arms up over your head. Exhale through your mouth. Draw your knees to your chest. Roll to your right side. And set your intention to be and honoring yourself. And in that way, you can learn to honor each other. Make your way to a seat on your mat. And bring your palms together to your heart center. Right in front of that heart, that light, that unique space that is you. The light in me honors that light in you. Namaste. Mwah. All right, let me turn off the recording. And